Now your sports update. Sports update. Powered by Mercury Insurance.
Hey, it's Madson with your top stories on Sports 1140. The Kings beat the Suns last night 106-102 in their preseason opener down in Phoenix. Yogi Ferrell led all scorers with 26 points. Willie Cauley-Stein had a double-double with 14 points and 12 rebounds. Harry Giles in his preseason debut had 14 points, 6 boards, 3 assists in 23 minutes, while Marvin Bagley struggled a little bit, 7 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 blocks in 25 minutes. Week 4 of the NFL wrapped up last night with the Chiefs coming back from 10 points down in the fourth quarter to beat the Broncos 27-23 in Denver. And the MLB regular season finished up yesterday with a couple of game 163s. The Brewers beat the Cubs 3-1 to secure the NL Central crown, while the Dodgers clinched their 6th consecutive NL West championship with a 5-2 victory over the Rockies. The Cubs and Rockies will now play in the NL wildcard game tonight in Chicago, with the winner of that series moving on to face the Brewers in the NLDS. Those are your top stories, and now it's time for the third hour of The Drive with Carmichael Dave.
Rise and shine, sleepyhead.
I'm not letting you go to work today.
Wait, what? Everybody, listen up.
Welcome to The Drive.
Morning, morning, morning.
You're gonna talk.
Get on the phone at 339-1140.
Pretty awesome, huh?
Jump in on our text line at 441140.
Everyone is talking about it. You must know that.
The Drive starts now.
Oh, the off-air conversations. If only we could share them on the air. Kyle Madson, Carmichael Dave. I'm Carmichael Dave, by the way. That's Kyle Madson. Welcome into The Drive.
I'm Kyle.
He's
Madsen.
Kyle. I'm
Carmichael Madson.
All Drive audio and now video available online. You can get the audio on the KHTK app, and go to the KHTK YouTube channel for all our video archives as well. Thanks so much to Jiffy Lube and the Sacramento Republic. Want to mention as well Mark Mastrov, who we appreciate coming on. Comes to you via the Fire Wings Hotline. 21 different flavors to choose from. Firewings.com. Just wing it. Matt Barrows of the Athletic coming up next.
I don't want to spoil anything video-wise.
Which you will.
But I think we have some good visual bits coming down the line.
We do. Yes, we do.
Coming down the Amazon River.
Yes, we do. Kyle had an idea, and I liked it. So we're going to execute it. And it has to do with good questions.
I sent it to Dave, and he said, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And 10 seconds later, got a screenshot that he had executed said thing.
I had already purchased said item before I sent that to you. I saw your text, and I was like, oh, yeah. I looked for a purple one, by the way.
Yeah, I did too. For the record,
Yeah.
I did as well.
By the way, this is so out of context. Nobody knows what we're talking about. So before we get to Matt Barrows, let's get to our top story of the day. When two hunters spotted a bear Saturday on a ridge above them south of Anchorage, Alaska. Not Anchorage, Nevada, by the way. They opened fire on bear. The wounded bear tumbled down the ridge, knocking loose some rocks, and landed on William McCormick. A loose rock also struck McCormick. He was definitely hurt. His hunting partner was unhurt, called for help. They did not specify the size of the bear that fell on McCormick. They were hunting near Carter Lake and Moose Pass. From the Sacramento Bee this morning.
Poor Mitchell Trubisky.
I'm telling you, man. Everything was going great for the Bears.
And running with the football is a bear.
Hey, join the 1140 Street Team at Sourdough & Co. for lunch today, 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at 1229 Howe Avenue. Enjoy amazing sandwiches, soups, and salads while winning amazing prizes. Sourdough & Co. Naturally better. More info at khtk.com.
The Broncos believe time ran out on the Chiefs on a very pivotal play last night.
It did.
It definitely was 0. The replay showed that, said Brandon Marshall. 4 plays before their big scoring run, the Broncos say the play clock ran out on the Chiefs on what was a 35-yard completion from Patrick Mahomes to Demetrius Harris on 3rd and 7. The play moved the ball from the Broncos' 46 to the 11-yard line just before the 2-minute warning. Replays, including those shown on the stadium's video boards, seem to show the play clock was at 0 before the ball had been snapped. So there was a little bit of controversy. And according to the Broncos, the referee, Craig Rolstad, said the officials missed the play. Asked again, Marshall was asked again if the referee actually told him that. He said he told us. There are several guys that will vouch for that. We all heard him. That was the explanation, that he just missed it. Chris Harris Jr., their cornerback, backed him up. He said he asked the official to review the play with replay and was told it was not a reviewable play under the current rules. Quote, that was crazy. It was 0 seconds on the clock forever. You can't review it. I asked everything. If a ref messed up on a call, you should be able to fix it. Dude, look how long the clock was on 0. That's not why we lost the game, but that was a huge, huge no call. I mean, I appreciate him saying that's not why we lost the game, but, I mean, was it not? Could it not have been? Finally, before we get to Matt Barrows, just cleaning some stuff up here. Habib Nurmagomedov, I never get his name right, and Conor McGregor is this weekend. Habib said Conor was a little messed up at the press conference.
The press conference, he looked like a drunk guy, it's like crazy. Very interesting how he want to fight, when you use a lot of drugs, when you use whiskey, how you want to fight 25 minutes. This is not boxing, brother. This is like, I'm going to be close all the time, and he knows this. I'm going to be close all the time. This is not like for you, it's like distance fight with Nate Diaz or something like this. This is completely different.
It's going to be very interesting, and we'll preview that this Friday, Habib versus Conor McGregor this weekend. Joining us right now, as he does each and every Tuesday at 8:05 from The Athletic, the one, the only, Matt Barrows. Hello, Matt.
Hey, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing good, my man. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay considering the circumstances. It's hard, but I'm gonna endure.
What are the circumstances? What happened?
Oh, it's one and 3 start to the season. Have you not been paying attention?
I didn't know if there
Have
were
you tuned out already, Dave?
Matt, I didn't know. I thought maybe there were like extra trains rolling through the backyard. I maybe the handle in your briefcase broke. I don't know. I'm concerned.
No, we could get a train later. That's always a fun surprise on a Tuesday morning.
Hell of a bust. That's a nifty quote from Kyle Shanahan as we get right into it, talking about C.J. Beathard's game-sealing interception. Would you mind expanding on that for the audience? What do you meant by that?
Yeah, he's talking about that very last interception that, ended the game essentially for the 49ers, and how there was a young player who made just a boneheaded mistake on that play. But it wasn't C.J. Beathard. It was Derwin James, the guy who ended up getting the sack or hitting Beathard so that the ball came loose and they got the interception. James was not supposed to blitz on that play. The Chargers had 6 blitzers, including both of their safeties, so they had no safeties back. So it was a defensive mistake, but one that the 49ers just couldn't take advantage of quickly enough, and James, being the athlete that he is, he was the Chargers' 17th or the 17th overall pick in the draft, the Chargers' first-round pick. He gets there, gets the sack despite the mistake. He shouldn't have been blitzing on the play, and that sort of spells out the 49ers' luck, even in an instance where it's the other team making a crucial error at a crucial point in the game. They got away with it, and it was the 49ers who ended up with the take with a turnover, and the Chargers, the team that ended up with a win.
Feels like Derwin James sure would look nice in a 49ers uniform.
Start.
I'm going to start.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, he's a guy that they have playing both strong safety and free safety, and the 49ers have had issues at both. You could clone that guy. You put Derwin James A at strong and Derwin James B at free for the 49ers, and yeah, for sure, you could find a bunch of guys that maybe the 49ers should have picked up. I still can't get over they didn't draft an edge rusher at all last year, or bring one in free agency, really, because they ended up cutting Jeremiah Tauchu, and that continues to be a big issue for this team. Cassius Marsh, their designated edge rusher, has played 4 games and has 0 sacks.
Yeah, do you think they thought that Solomon Thomas, I don't want to dive super far into this, but do you think they thought Solomon Thomas would be able to play the edge and he just can't?
I don't know if it's that he's not playing it as well as they thought. I mean, they always had the thought that he wouldn't play there on passing down, so they obviously don't think that he's a prototypical edge rusher. The idea was always that he would slide inside to defensive tackle on those downs. I felt like they thought back in the spring, okay, we're going to put Taushu in there. We've got Marsh. We're going to put Eli Harold. Maybe we get Elvis Dumerville back. I mean, one of those guys is going to rise to the surface over the course of time. And three of those guys aren't on the team. And the fourth guy is he came into the season, Cassius Marsh, with 6 career sacks over 4 years. So I don't see how you could think that overnight he would become a double-digit sack guy. He never has been. He never was. And it's hard to see him being that this year, too.
Well, and Matt, just so you understand, because I can't expect you to listen to the show all 3 hours, 5 days a week.
Why not?
Well, I'm just saying, Matt's busy. But we spent the better part of a month. As I'm sure you know what college Derwin James attended, we spent the better part of a month screaming, and Kyle actually agreed with me that Derwin James needed to come to the 49ers, that he was perfect for the 49ers. So much as Kings fans lust after Luka Doncic and will all year long, I'm spending my entire season doing the same for Derwin James, who I thought, no offense to who they got, but thought would be a perfect fit for the Niners.
Well, I mean, he's a big physical safety who's obviously good at blitzing, even on plays where he's not supposed to blitz.
Right.
His ability overcomes his mistakes, his greenness as a rookie, and he would have been an excellent fit, especially at that strong safety spot. I mean, Cam Chancellor is the prototype there, and he's a more athletic Cam Chancellor. The issue with the 49ers is that they felt, oh, you know what, we got Jaquiski Tart there. Jaquiski Tart is awesome. He's going to be perfect there. He's been injured. Adrian Colbert's been injured. When they weren't injured, they weren't playing very well. So that to me has been the biggest letdown in terms of expectations in play. Those two coming off of last season should have been really good, and it just did not carry over into the regular season. They're going to get a second crack at it probably Sunday against the Cardinals. Basically, it's a reset for both of their seasons. They need to do better. They have not come close to where expectations were at the end of last year.
That's actually a perfect transition into my next question as we talk with Matt Barrows of The Athletic. Is Adrian Colbert locked into that free safety spot? Because Kyle Shanahan seemed pretty non-committal on it after DJ Reed's performance on Sunday.
He's not. I mean, he's got to be better than DJ Reed in practice, and that's what they've got going now at several spots. They've got competition at cornerback with Greg Mabin sort of edging in on Akello Witherspoon's and Jimmy Ward's snaps, and as you noted, you've got DJ Reed now in a competition with Adrian Colbert. The bottom line being that they feel like that secondary needs to play better, and if they have to do a in-season competition, something that they should have done, or is more natural in the off season in training camp, so be it. I think that they feel as if Reed is his best fit ultimately will be at nickel cornerback. So I think if he's back and healthy, Colbert will get his position back. But the 49ers aren't in a position to grant anybody a starting job just because they played it well last year. I mean, they need to light a fire under some of these guys, and this is one of the ways that they're going about doing that.
I was interesting in your article. You weren't talking about the injured offensive lineman. You were talking about the one offensive lineman that isn't injured, just to kind of back up everything we've talked about this season with the 49ers. We're only 4 games into the season, but it almost already feels like they're snake bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Joe Staley is sort of the epitome of that. I mean, he was pass blocking, and I think Beathard went into the side of his knee, and it happened to be the same knee that he's had issues with, I don't know, for the past 7 or 8 years. Nothing, season ending. It's not ACL related, but he's got tendinitis in the knee. He's had some arthroscopy surgery in previous off seasons, and he's got to feel like this team is under a bad moon with all of the bad things that have been happening to it. So I'd have a hard time thinking that he's going to play, but the other 2 guys, or really other 3 guys, Mike Person at right guard, Mike McGlinchey at right tackle, and then Weston Richburg at center. All of those guys have been basically walking wounded, so I figure that they'll be able to rally enough for the upcoming game against the Cardinals, but they're not going to be 100% healthy. So you've got C.J. Beathard, who already takes a lot of big hits behind a rickety offensive line. So and they don't have room to bring in a third quarterback. So it really is the recipe for a big disaster looming if things continue to go the way that they've been going so far for the 49ers.
How would you grade C.J. Beathard's performance on Sunday? This is a little bit of a debate Dave and I had yesterday. Would you say he was better than expected, right about what you thought he'd be? Well, where would you put him?
I'd say B+. I'd say better than expected. It had all the looks of a Jimmy Garoppolo start, a Jimmy Garoppolo in 2018. I should specify start. I mean, they were very similar in their numbers. Both of his interceptions were not his fault, so he would have had a passer rating well in the hundreds if Garrett Selleck had come down with that ball. If Derwin James hadn't made a mistake and made the awesome blitz that he had, so it was good. I mean, the arm talent is not there, that Jimmy Garoppolo has, and I don't think that he's got the escapability that Garoppolo has. Although he did. Turn a couple of plays in which it looked like he was going to get sacked into gains. So overall, I thought it was better than expected, and hopefully it's something that he can continue to build on throughout the course of the season.
Speaking of grading, how did you feel about the Warner-Foster combination? Warner with 10 tackles, Foster with 7. How did you look at that and feel about that at the end of the game?
It was definitely better than the game prior, especially from Foster. There's still too many missed tackles, not as many from the inside linebackers as there were. They do cover a lot of ground. They haven't, sort of taken over a game yet, and that's what this team needs them to do. I mean, Rivers was basically taking what this defensive scheme, which he goes against, by the way, throughout training camp in the off season, was giving him, and it requires those two inside linebackers to do quite a bit of coverage and to cover quite a bit of ground, and I don't feel like either of those guys really made a difference in that game, and it may be just because Rivers is going into his 15th season and knows exactly where to go with the ball, but I thought it was definitely a step in the right direction for that duo.
Foster was super effective early on rushing the quarterback. Do you think we'll see that more from him?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was one of the rare blitzes from the scheme that seems to be effective is him coming up the middle, and it reminded me a lot of Patrick Willis when he used to do it early in his career. I mean, they're just two fast, aggressive guys who can get to the quarterback very quickly. So it makes sense if that's something that they go to a lot this season.
Looking ahead, and I know it's quite early to look ahead, but we've talked about how wins are more than likely going to be scarce for the 49ers this year after Jimmy Garoppolo going down, and then all the injuries we've just been documenting for the last 10 minutes. But they've got a game where they are favored at home against the 0-4 Cardinals. There's no must-wins, but I would imagine this is a game the Niners are feeling fairly confident about.
Well, I don't know about confident, but I feel like they've got to win this game. I mean, you've got Green Bay after that at Green Bay, and then the Los Angeles Rams, who look like the second coming of their fastest show on turf selves. So if it doesn't come this game, then the game after that is at Arizona. So, it's starting to remind me of those games where I forget what season it was, but I think it was 2004. It was 2004 where they won 2 games the whole season, and both games were against the Cardinals in overtime. So this could be a season that is very similar. But you're right. This is the game to win. The Cardinals are definitely in rebuild mode. They're working in a rookie quarterback. They're finding their feet as well, so they've got to come with a W on Sunday, I think.
Interesting to see that connection between C.J. Beathard and George Kittle. I did not expect to see what I saw. That's a fast, big guy.
Yeah, once he got into the open field, I was up there in the press box, and I was wondering, I'd heard so much about how fast he is. I was saying to myself, I wonder if he can stretch this into a touchdown. And the free safety had one bad misstep.
Yep.
And that was all he needed to get around the edge and to go in untouched into the end zone. I believe that he, coming out of the draft last year, was the second fastest tight end at the scouting combine. And, boy, that was the first time that you really saw that they really got him in the open field. And it was very interesting to see. I mean, his numbers right now, I forget what his receiving yards are like, but I know that they lead the 49ers, and they're more than double that of the most prolific wide receiver, who is Pierre Garçon, and it really kind of illustrates where the 49ers are. Their best offensive weapon, their most explosive offensive weapon is their tight end, and they're really lagging right now at the wide receiver spot. Marquise Goodwin, who came back from a quad injury, now has a quad injury and a hamstring injury, so he's not at full strength. Pierre Garçon is, sort of a number 2 possession-type receiver at this stage of his career. I feel like that's really a position that the 49ers, every team could use this, but the 49ers really could use the big, explosive wide receiver who scares the you-know-what out of defenses, and they just don't have that on the field right now. Watching the Chiefs yesterday, you see them running, even on plays that Tyreek Hill isn't getting the ball. He's still a decoy. He's still somebody that, A, the defense is watching to see where he lines up, and B, the Chiefs are running a lot of decoy plays to him, and it's creating openings for everybody else. Boy, the 49ers just don't have that player on the field right now. They don't have anybody that scares the defense.
Well, and last thing for you, because there are a couple guys out there, one in particular. Kyle and I have gone back and forth on this. Do the Niners make moves to try to salvage the season? And obviously they wouldn't want to admit this to their fans. Or do they punt, pun intended, and just kind of shore up for next season and grab the draft pick? When you hear about Le'Veon Bell, heck, I've heard stuff about Des Bryant before. Do you see the Niners really investing themselves in any player like that, especially Bell, to try to make something out of this year?
No, not Bell, because the one area that seems to be okay, and it could go south. But up until Sunday, Matt Breida was leading the NFL in rushing yards. Yeah. It's not as big a missing piece as edge rusher or number 1 wide receiver seemed to be. And then next year, you're also presumably getting Jerick McKinnon back healthy again. Although I do question whether he can last 16 games in the season. So, and that's also the MO of the Shanahan offense, whether it's Kyle or Mike, is that you don't spend top dollar in free agency or in the draft or in a trade on a running back. You can find a good one in the middle rounds. And boy, you saw the Chiefs last night. Keep going back to them. But in that game, there were a couple of mid-round running backs doing pretty well. Lindsey for the Denver Broncos, and of course the Chiefs running back as well. So I don't think that running back is the area where they're going to spend a lot of capital.
C.J. Beathard's game-sealing interception, a deeper dive into that, the offensive line status and all the injuries there. And, of course, Matt's patented 5 observations. That's just among some of the phenomenal coverage you're going to get at theathletic.com. I have a subscription. You should get one as well. It's a clean read, clean comments underneath. No trolling, no goofiness, no virus, none of that. It's phenomenal coverage, and we're happy that Matt Barrows is not only a part of that, but a part of our coverage each and every Tuesday at 8:05. Matty, good luck, and we will talk to you next week.
All right, sounds good, guys. Have a good week.
All right, you two take care. That's Matt Barrows. We will pause, step aside, take a break. When we come back, we're giving away a big old TV. TV number 2, courtesy of the Home Theater Company, just like we did yesterday at 8:35. So stay by your phones, and we'll also knock out Nostradumbass in that segment as well as we get the final half hour of the drive next, right here on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Raider Nation. Join my partner Lincoln Kennedy and I each and every week for Raiders football right here on your home of the Raiders, Sports 1140 KHTK.
Hey, we got a touchdown. Let's
How about
celebrate,
that?
huh?
That's right. Now the crowd comes alive.
Years of drought, millions of dead trees, extreme winds, and leading scientists say there will be even more dangerous fires in the years ahead. Our weather is changing, and we all need to work together to get ready. Hi, I'm Lisa Velis-Waweru from PG&E. At PG&E, we are accelerating our forest management work in high fire threat areas, removing dead trees and trimming vegetation back 12 feet from power lines. As part of our community wildfire safety program, we are implementing additional safety measures to further reduce wildfire risks, including a 24-hour wildfire safety operations center, new early warning weather stations, and stronger power lines in high fire threat areas. And we want to make sure you know what steps you can take, like cutting back vegetation around your home, having the right emergency plan, and signing up for safety alerts. For more information on how to keep you and your neighborhood safe, visit pge.com/wildfiresafety.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute, brought to you by Cintas. Every day, over 1 million businesses depend on Cintas. Get Cintas and get ready for the workday. It wasn't bad enough for an American Ryder Cup team laden with superior talent to be thoroughly humiliated by the Europeans, and now it has to air out its dirty laundry. Patrick Reed ranted to the New York Times that he was blindsided by Captain Jim Furyk's decision not to pair him with former Ryder Cup partner Jordan Spieth. According to the New York Post, an inside source not only disagreed with Reed, but claimed he had begged to be paired with Tiger Woods. Man, these guys are acting like a bunch of NFL wide receiver divas. HBO should have done a hard knocks on these individuals learning to play a team game. Could you imagine Bill Belichick worrying about player feelings or input like Jim Furyk did? No wonder why they lost. I'm Boomer Esiason.
I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's premier home purchase lender. Today's fluctuating interest rates can leave you with unexpected higher mortgage payments. At Quicken Loans, we've created a new way to protect you from unpredictable interest rates so you can buy a home with certainty. It's called Rate Shield, and here's how it works. With Rate Shield, you can lock your interest rate while you shop for a new home. So if rates go up, you don't have to worry. And here's the best part. If rates go down, you get the lower rate. With Rate Shield, we really have you covered. Here are more reasons why you'll want to work with America's largest mortgage lender. For 8 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 5th year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Rate Shield, another way we can save you money on your mortgage. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Based on Rocket Mortgage data in comparison to public data records. Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year purchase transactions. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. Additional conditions or exclusions may apply.
Would you like to see actual magic? All you have to do is call 1-800-GOT-JUNK and prepare to be amazed. We make junk disappear right before your eyes. All you have to do is point. Send us a signal, and we'll be there. In clean, shiny trucks, in snappy, happy uniforms. Point at anything you wish was gone. Gone. We work until midnight, 7 days a week. All you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.
Cache Creek Casino Resort is growing, and we want you to grow your career with us. Our new expansion means plenty of opportunities, so we're hiring for positions throughout our resort, including hotel, food and beverage, spa, and much more. As part of our team, you'll receive weekly paychecks, medical, dental, vision, 401k, paid time off, gas discounts, and more. Make your future part of ours. Join our team and be part of the best. Cache Creek Casino Resort. For full job listings, go to jobs.cachecreek.com.
Beck's Furniture.
The CBS Sports Minute is brought to you by Elk Grove Ford.
I'm Rachel Wood, co-owner at Elk Grove Ford. I spend all day at our dealership because it's my job. It's also my job to make sure you don't spend all day with me. See for yourself at Elk Grove Ford today. We'll have you out before your coffee gets cold.
Elk Grove sells Fords.
Join KCK Sports 1140 this Friday from noon to 2 at Food for Less at 4551 Mac Road to enter to win a Money Can't Buy Sacramento Kings home opener experience.
Now your sports update. Sports update. Powered by Mercury Insurance.
Hey, the Kings won their This is Kyle Madson with your top stories on Sports 1140. The Kings won their preseason opener, 106-102.
Nice update. It's good.
Here we go. The drive continues now.
We got a lot of stuff to get to. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
All right, do you have, let me just do a couple of checks here. Do you have all our winners on the line? Are you still getting them? Okay. We're going to get to Nostradumbass here in just a second. We're about to give away another TV. I believe this is a 55-incher, courtesy of the Home Theater Company. Home Theater Company here. Home Theater Company with Grant all the time for years. Phenomenal partners. And they're making people's dreams come true. Really. Blu-ray player. Big giant TV. A lot of you guys heard the giveaway yesterday. Then you entered the bonus round. Well, this is the bonus round. Also, thanks to Matt Barrows and Mark Mastroff for filling the last hour as well. Good stuff with them. They come to you via the Fire Wings Hotline. 21 different flavors to choose from. Firewings.com. Just wing it. Good stuff from Mark on all the stuff he's into, and also your Sacramento Kings. You Sacramento Kings who were victorious last night. I very much, I very much enjoyed a guy named Greg, who's a writer for the Sacktown Royalty, and who makes me look like Matt George is a pessimist. In other words, makes me look like the optimist. He just tweeted something very good. Remember that preseason games are meaningless unless they support your preconceptions. And that is very, very true. That is very, very, very true. All right, so we're getting our winners on here. So, Kyle, we're good to go, right? Just give me a thumbs up. All right, we got the thumbs up. So yesterday we were kind of goofing around. Today, though, we've got, I'm going to pick two winners at random who already have the Blu-ray players. All right. And I've got a little contest. I'm going to have the two of them face off. All right. So let's go with contestant number one. Let me lock that in. I believe it says here, is this Brent?
Yes, sir.
Brent, how are you?
Good, man. Just delivering some packages.
Could you use a 55-inch high-definition television from the Home Theater Company?
Most definitely. Right on time for the Kings.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, Brent, let me ask you, let me get my other contestant on here. Let me see if I can do this right. I believe this is Bobby. Bobby in Elk Grove. Hey, Bob, how are you?
Yeah, hey, I'm doing good, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing good. Could you use a 55-inch television?
Oh, yeah, it would be my sixth one.
You can be your sixth one. You could. Come on. Get out of here. All right, here's the deal. Brent, I'll ask you first. Brent, are you much of a speller?
I think so.
Okay, good. Bobby, are you much of a speller?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay, so, wow, Bobby's excited. All right, so here's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to have a little spelling bee here. It's very simple. First person to miss, the other person wins the television. Now, Brent, I got to write this down. Bobby and Brent and Bobby. Brent, since I talked to you first, I'm going to give you the advantage. I'm going to let you go second so you can kind of get your wings together and get all prepared, okay? I'll go to Bobby first. You good with that?
Oh, good.
Bobby, your first word. Spell, let's just make it easy. Spell bed. Come on, just spell bed. I'm giving you an easy one just to get you in. You know how to spell bed. Come on.
Okay. B-E-D.
B-E-D, that is 100% correct. All right. Brent, you ready for your first word?
Yep.
All right, spell sarcophagus.
Sarcophagus?
Yes.
Like the body part?
No, like the thing that they put the mummies in, I think.
I have no idea.
You want to give it a shot? Come on, these are the starter words.
S-A-R-C-O-P-H. Agus.
Now, let me ask you something. Did you look that up?
Yeah.
You looked it up?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cheating.
Well, you did beds and sarcophagus.
I know. I'm just messing with you, Brent. That's actually Kyle on the other line. I'm just screwing with you. You are the big winner, my friend. Congratulations. You got yourself a 55-inch television. Courtesy. I was just trying to piss him off. So.
Got him!
Sarcophagus. What?
He gave him bed.
I'll give it to you, Brent.
Oh, that's a good bit.
But Brent actually, he didn't even whine at first. He went for it.
Yeah. Well, hey, and I love that he looked it up, but still acted like he was guessing. He's like S-A, just C.
Here's a lot of reasons why. I want everybody else listening to understand why Brent is fantastic. So number one,
his last name is Curry.
Thank you. That's number. Hey. Number one, he's a Kings fan. Number two, he didn't whine or moan when you got bed and he got sarcophagus. He went for it. Number two. Number three, and this is most important, when I asked him if he looked it up, he didn't hesitate to be honest with me and say, yeah, dude, I did.
Yeah, obviously. You gave him bed.
Because you gave him bed, ass. Well done. Home Theater Company is your best friend and mine. That's a 55-inch high-definition television courtesy of, again, the Home Theater Company. My man, hold the line. Kyle is actually, you don't even need to hold the line. I'll hang up on you, and somebody in promotions is going to give you a call here in a few minutes and set everything up for you. I got to give you the, what's the question I like to ask? Oh, yeah. Hey, what Sacramento sports radio station that carries the Sacramento Kings makes all your television viewing dreams come true?
40.
That's perfect. It came through perfectly. Thanks.
Good quality.
Thanks. That's beautiful quality. We'll have to recreate that.
Great.
Take care, my man. Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks, Dave.
All right. You take care. Bye-bye. All right. And how do I...
No, you're nailing it. Good.
Okay.
There it is. Yeah, they have all his info.
You know what's funny? I had so many people on Twitter and so many people on the text line, like, nobody's falling for this 2 days in a row.
Brent fell for it.
You gave him bed.
Hey, do you like my made-up voice on the fly?
Dude, okay. We gotta talk about you posing as somebody else.
Yeah, hey, Dave.
Yeah, hey, Dave. Oh, I got 6.
Yeah, I got 6 TVs.
Spell bed. Oh.
I was hoping you were going to ask me where I was putting my TV because I was going to go, oh, it's going in my shower.
Well, there's actually a lot of people. I guess we didn't explain this right, that Kyle was the guy.
I was on the phone.
He was Bobby in Elk Grove. That was Kyle. The only thing
I should have just done a terrible accent, too. Yeah, this is Bobby in Elk Grove.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, long-time listener, first-time caller.
I don't care if anybody else enjoyed that. And that's really the rule for 90% of our radio.
You and I had a lot of fun.
We had fun. Yeah. That's all that matters.
You and I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, because you wouldn't say me had fun.
Right.
Yeah, I had fun. Right. Yeah, that's the rule. Well, I guess you fooled a couple people.
Oh, good.
Good for you.
Thank you.
That's going to be available not only audio but video as well. Of course, you won't be able to. It'd be great to have video, Brent.
Well, that's it. I was watching Eunice do the video stuff, and one of the screens you can see the camera, and I'm standing like in the corner on my phone.
From the 916, Kyle should watch more movies on that list and learn how to act. It's not the worst idea. We need to get back to you watching movies on that list.
Yeah, well, hey, football season started, which means I gotta do stuff now.
Kyle, I have to do things.
Ugh.
Thank you guys. Sarcophagus, like the body part.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
I forgot about that. Yeah, dude, I sprained my sarcophagus earlier.
No, I think you meant esophagus.
Yeah, I think so too. Got something caught in my sarcophagus. Oh, it's really scratchy.
That reminds me, I have to listen to Monster by Kanye West later.
What?
That's a deep cut Kanye West thing, and someone out there is going to appreciate it.
Someone from the 916 claims that Brent actually didn't fall for it. He just wanted the free TV, so he went along. I completely disagree.
Oh, totally disagree.
Years and years of doing this, you get really good at smelling fakes.
Yeah.
They stink. Kind of like a...
If Brent wasn't falling for it, he would have just been like, PHQ...
Yeah, he would have just
sarcophagus. I was going to do a whole bit where I didn't know how to spell bed. But when you were like, get on with it.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Okay,
no bit. Yeah. That whole thing you're playing straight. We just needed a second person that wasn't going to be mad when we gave the other guy the TV.
Right.
You're not mad, are you?
Super PO'd.
Oh, you mean like the body part? Let's take a little bit of an early break here because there's no way we're doing Nostradumbass in this segment. So let's.
I haven't even cut it up yet.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Should we postpone it?
No, we can. If we go to break, I will jump on it.
All right, let's go to break.
Yeah.
Is it okay before we get to Nostradumbass? Can I talk? I want to talk a little bit about Fire Wings.
Well,
let's just do it during the break.
Fine.
Let's take a break. I'm going to talk to you about some Fire Wings, and then we'll do some Nostradumbass. How's that?
I don't think the spots will like you talking about Fire Wings over them, but maybe I can carve out a little time for
Okay, we'll have to deal with that. All right, so
we'll just wing it.
We'll break now. We'll wing it. Fire Wings next, followed by Nostradumbass. 3, 2, 1, break.
Home Theater Company is giving you another chance to text and win to upgrade your television.
Yes!
Text the word BONUS to 441140 to enter. That's the word BONUS to 441140, courtesy of Home Theater Company.
Fire Wings.
Fire Wings.
There you go. 21 different flavors to choose from. Oh, man. Whether it is breaded Malaysian curry, Peking, dragon wings, salt and pepper, buffalo, lemon pepper. I could go on and on and on. I guess I couldn't. I could go up to 21. Here's the bottom line. The Fire Wings phenomenon is taking over the greater Sacramento area. They got 5 points going now. Strong. Delta Shores. The one I always go to on Howe Avenue. And soon, I hear Antelope. Yep, that's right. You can get wings, bone in or bone out. You get garlic fries, garlic ramen. Some of the stores even have poke. I mean, come on. It's the best chicken wing you'll ever eat. Now, don't take my word for it. They've won the best wing in Sacramento 3 years in a row. Go to firewings.com, find the location nearest you, and you tell them your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you.
Hi there, this is Jason Ross, and we all have financial questions. Can we afford a bigger home? What's the best way to save for my next vacation? And can we lease or buy a car? Whether you have questions about saving, spending, or anything in between, Bank of America's experienced financial specialists are here for you. Proudly serving the greater Sacramento area, schedule an appointment at bankofamerica.com/conversation and start the conversation.
At Universal Men's Clinic, we focus on helping men suffering from low testosterone or ED. If you often feel low energy, have a decrease in your libido, or difficulty in the bedroom, you may have a treatable medical condition. These symptoms occur in many men over the age of 30. The medical staff at Universal Men's Clinic will evaluate your diagnosis and blood test to determine what medical treatments are available for you.
I'm Dr. Charles Arakaki of the Universal Men's Clinic, where we specialize in treating erectile dysfunction and low testosterone. With modern medicine and the latest technology, our patients experience a high level of care.
Come in for an office visit. For those with a treatable condition, the medical staff will create a customized treatment plan, including monitoring your progress in a professional and confidential atmosphere. Call Universal Men's Clinic at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit universalmensclinic.com.
If you need a work truck, you need a dealer who works as hard as you, like Maida Chevy in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, a business elite dealer. Maida Chevy has the commercial vehicle you're looking for. Work-ready Silverados, express vans, commercial loaners, and so much more. All backed by Maida Chevy pros who know your vehicles are your livelihood. Whether you need one vehicle or an entire fleet, Maida Chevy's got you covered. Business elite at Maida Chevy, Sacramento's #1 Chevy dealer for over 10 years. Find new roads.
Sacramento retail sales.
Made a great deal at Maida.
Are you stuck with an inaccurate credit report? A credit report that's causing you to be denied credit? Then do what Kathy did and call Lexington Law Firm.
I was trying to finance a car, and it was, they wouldn't finance the car.
One call was all it took to start back on the track to repairing her credit.
I'm telling you, It was amazing. Y'all have really changed my life. I could not have straightened this out by myself.
Don't let an inaccurate credit report hold you back. California residents, call Lexington Law for a free credit consultation at 800-928-0387. That's 800-928-0387. 800-928-0387. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Your results will vary. John C. Heath, Attorney at Law, PLLC, DBA, Lexington Law, and of Counsel Attorneys. 360 North Cutler Drive, North Salt Lake, Utah, 84054. Adam Fullman of Counsel to Lexington Law in California.
Attention high school football fans. Be sure to log on to KHDK.com and vote now for the Stockton Honda Game of the Week. Listen every Friday night and get all the coverage on KHDK.com.
Win tickets to America's Greatest Game Show hosted by Eric Estrada only at Cache Creek. Visit CacheCreek.com for details.
It's the end of the show, but it's the start of your workday. For a cold one, it's What's on Tap. Here's What's on Tap.
That's the great part about this time of year. And Kyle, did you know there was a little bit of rain outside this morning? It was rain on my... You don't have to answer. Kyle's busy right now. There was rain on my car. It was sprinkling a little bit earlier outside, around 6 a.m. Love this time of year because you don't have football, but you got playoff baseball, for example, as the playoffs start in earnest today. In baseball, Rockies at Wrigley Field, Chicago Cubs, National League wild card game. Kyle Freeland versus John Lester, one of those teams going bye-bye. Over in the NBA, Kings off tonight. They will play the Lakers on Thursday. And then, of course, I keep saying they're going to play Seattle on Friday. They're playing the Warriors in Seattle on Friday. But you got some preseason games going tonight. Denver visits the Lakers. There's LeBron once again. Kawhi Leonard, another all-star with a new team, and his Raptors take on the Jazz, Grizz, and Rockets. Cavs at Celtics. That would have been fun a year ago. And the Heat at the Hornets as we continue that preseason schedule. No NFL today, but we are following a couple of stories, including continued issues with the Ryder Cup team in the aftermath of the U.S. getting destroyed. Patrick Reed had said that basically threw Jim Furyk under the bus, told the New York Times he was blindsided by not being able to play with Jordan Spieth. According to an anonymous member of Team USA, they told the New York Post, quote, "He is so full of blank, blindsided my fanny, he begged to play with Tiger." Also, a story that first appeared in the Telegraph in the UK, I believe, and now backed up by Golf Digest, that Dustin Johnson and Brooks Koepka, who are friends and workout partners, almost came to blows at a Ryder Cup party. And at the center of the whole thing were their girlfriends, including Wayne Gretzky's daughter, Paulina Gretzky. So a lot of golf drama going on right now. That's quite interesting. LaMelo Ball sparked a ball brawl in a game in Lithuania. Okay. And a couple of sounds here as well for you. We talked to you about Earl Thomas giving the Seahawks sideline the middle finger after he broke his leg and was being carted off. Here's how Pete Carroll reacted.
People that are criticizing whatever happened don't understand. This was an earth-shattering moment for a kid. He's trying to play this game he loves, and all of a sudden this happens again. He knew exactly what had happened to him.
There you go. Pete Carroll trying to cut him some slack. You ready for a little Nostradumbass? Nostradumbass, game one, was that the Niners and Chargers that we did? Yep. Here's Kyle and I on the on that game. Let's start with the Niners and Chargers. No Jimmy Garoppolo. There we go. This isn't going to be pretty, fellas and ladies. It's not going to be pretty at all. It'll be pretty if you are a Charger fan watching Melvin Gordon score 2 touchdowns. Ding. I'm already calling my dings for next week.
Okay.
It will be pretty watching Keenan Allen, if he plays, Mike Williams.
Is he going to play, Nostradamus?
I say Keenan Allen will play. He's going to eat up some yardage here. I think Phillip Rivers throws for a couple touchdowns. Gordon gets in for a couple touchdowns. Add in a field goal, and add in 2 field goals for the 49ers. That's their offense on the day. Let's get 2 picks. 2 picks out of C.J. Beathard. 31-6, your final in San Diego. Melvin Gordon got in for a touchdown. Keenan Allen did play. C.J. Beathard threw 2 picks.
They did not play in San Diego.
They did not play in San Diego. I was wrong about that. And I did say the Chargers would score 31. They scored 29.
And missed 2 extra points.
Yes, they did. Thank you. Thank you for that. Obviously, the big miss here was that the 49ers did not score 6. They scored 27. This is a very, very close game. I give myself a C- on that one. Not great. Not your best performance. Not what I've been doing all year long. Here's Kyle.
Yeah, I don't think this game's going to go very well for the 49ers defense. I think their offense moves the ball a little bit better than we're expecting. Matt Breida will play and have a good game behind that good offensive line. C.J. Beathard will be a little bit better, but it's not going to be nearly enough. I don't think the 49ers defense will get a ton of stops. I think Phillip Rivers throws for 3 touchdowns, and I think C.J. Beathard maybe gets 1. Yeah, I think C.J. Beathard gets 1. I think Matt Breida gets in the end zone. I think the 49ers lose 31-17.
Did you say 31-17? Okay, well, you were closer. We both had 31 for the Chargers. You were 11 points closer than I did. I think you nailed it with Phillip Rivers and the 3 touchdowns. Breida didn't get in the end zone.
I'm going C.
I'm going to give you B-, dude.
Wow, thanks,
if I'm
man.
a C-, you're a B-.
Oh,
you were closer on the score, and you nailed the Rivers touchdowns. Next up, Raiders and Browns. Raiders-Browns.
You said that.
I already told you today and yesterday and the day before, you're going to see the Oakland Raiders get their first victory, and you're going to see Amari Cooper get loose. Not 1, 2 touchdowns for Amari Cooper. Yeah. You had Jordy Nelson one week. You had Cook the other week. You're going to have Amari Cooper get loose this week. I like Marshawn Lynch for a touchdown as well. I'm not going to blow him out. This is a better Browns team. But I think the Raiders are going to win this game comfortably. I'm going to go 35-21. Give me a Baker Mayfield touchdown. And hell, just because I like the kid, give me a Nick Chubb touchdown as well. Okay. The Nick Chubb call, I love. I'm taking
good call.
Taking full credit
really
for
good
that.
Call. He had 2, but whatever.
The Raiders did not win this game comfortably.
3 carries for 105 yards.
That's a pretty good average. Nick Chubb got in the end zone. That's a pretty good call considering they have Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson Jr. And I did say Amari Cooper would have the breakout in this game. 8 catches, 128 yards. I did say he'd score a touchdown. And I called the game. I said I guaranteed that an 0-3 team was going to win. I'm going to give myself a solid B+ for that one.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Kyle Madson on this game.
Yeah, I think the Browns are going to move the ball very efficiently against the Raiders, but I think the Raiders' backs against the wall. They don't want to go to 0-4. The Browns are going to have a little bit of a post-win hangover. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I think it's going to be a very real thing. Some of the emotion has worn off, and I think the Raiders are able to move the ball against a pretty good Browns defense. And I think Oakland actually closes it out. I think the Browns take an early lead, but the Raiders end up doing the coming back this time, and they ultimately win by 10 points. I think the Raiders win 27-17.
Okay, so you were off on the score. I thought you said you called the Browns as a win.
I thought I did too.
Yeah, no.
I took them in my picks.
You called the game. You said this time the Raiders were going to come back. I didn't see any real individual predictions.
I didn't do a ton of individuals.
So I would say degree of difficulty was
very
lower
low
for you.
Very low.
I'm going to give you let's say I'll give you a B-.
I'll take that.
Is that fair?
I'll wear that, yeah.
Okay, wild card games. I believe I went Chiefs-Broncos.
Yep.
Here we go. Let's go.
It's a disaster
let's go with
for you.
our wild card game of the week. By our, I mean my, and that's the Steelers and Broncos. Mile High.
Nope, that's not who's playing.
What did I say?
You said Steelers and Broncos.
Okay, and by Steelers and Broncos, obviously I meant the Chiefs and Broncos. Everybody knows
right,
that.
Yeah, I just wanted, just in case somebody out there was too dumb to know that.
Yeah, everyone knows that. When I say Steelers, I mean Chiefs. Chiefs going into Mile High, taking on the Broncos. This is where I think Patrick Mahomes is going to have a little hitch in his giddy-up. Nothing terrible, but I think he's going to throw for 2 picks. I think he's going to have 2. Yeah, right. Dun, dun, dun. Give me 2 picks and 2 touchdowns. 2 picks and 2 touchdowns for Patrick Mahomes. But give me 2 Case Keenum touchdowns.
So he's going to have 2 picks, or 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
Thumbs up and thumbs down.
Case Keenum is going to find Demarius Thomas. Case Keenum's going to find Cortland Sutton. That's a receiver I like as well.
Ooh, out of SMU,
I like Cortland Sutton. I like Cooper Kupp, and I like Calvin Ridley. I think we've got a nice little crop of receivers going right now, young receivers. Give me a Royce Freeman touchdown as well. Brandon McManus will factor in this game quite a bit. That's 3 touchdowns. Let's add in 3 McManus field goals.
Wow.
That's 30 to, give me a Bucker field goal, 30-17 Broncos.
Wow.
Okay. Missed the game. That's the most important thing. The Chiefs won this game. So that's number 1. What's the good here? I nailed Brandon McManus 3 field goals.
Mm-hmm.
Don't isolate that. I 3 field goals. I said Cortland Sutton would factor in. Other than that, that just sucked. Yeah, because he kind of factored in. It was terrible. I got everything else wrong. I'm giving myself a D+ on that one for the McManus.
That's exactly what I was going with.
Kyle Madson.
My wild card game this week. Where'd they go? What are we doing? I'm going Bucks Bears. I think this is where Fitzmagic officially runs out. We saw it a little bit last week with his 3 interceptions, 1 for a pick 6. But this Bears defensive front is no joke. With Akeem Hicks and Khalil Mack, you have Roquan Smith roaming around, and I think they really stick it to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's defense is not very good. I think Mitchell Trubisky's going to be able to take advantage of that. He's going to be a little bit better this week. A lot better. I think we get 2 Allen Robinson touchdowns. This one. I think Jordan Howard gets in for 1, and I think the Bears walk away with a 24-13 win.
Okay, so the Bears winning by 11. You said Trubisky would take advantage of that defense.
Mm-hmm.
He had 6 touchdowns. He definitely did.
Who's a little bit better.
You said this is where the Fitzmagic ends. He was 9-18 with a pick, got replaced. You got the winner right. You got the spirit correct.
Yeah.
You were off on your specific predictions.
Yeah,
But-
Jordan Howard didn't get in.
Right, but you got the spirit of it.
Sure.
And Robinson had a touchdown.
He did.
Okay.
Taylor Gabriel had 2.
I say that's a good, solid BB minus.
I was going to give myself a B.
Yeah, I'm fine with a B.
Okay.
I'm comfortable with that because you got. I think the spirit's more important than the individual.
Sure.
That's it. Nostradumbass for this week. Tomorrow we've got our awards to give away, our True Power rankings, and we'll also have Brent Bear from NBC Sports California.
Scott Bear.
God dang it. Who's Brent Bear?
Brent Berry.
Okay, well, we've got all that coming up tomorrow, and somebody whose name I'm going to forget. For Kyle Madson, for Eunice behind the scenes doing a phenomenal job, Mark Mastrov and Matt Barrows, I'm Carmichael Dave. Jim Rome is next. Enjoy the rest of your broadcast day right here on Sports 1140 KHTK. Bye-bye now.